Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the Magnum channel. We're going to talk about a little bit of reloading today. I only reload 44 Magnum and 44 Special. By the way, spoiler alert, if you're looking for reloading details and recipes, this is not the channel, so look somewhere else. I will be covering some reloading basics, so if you just want to see how I reload and what I do, then stay tuned. And for those of you wondering if I would buy the Lee Pro 1000 again, I've had it for about 2 years and I paid less than $200 for it brand new. So I think based on that, I would definitely buy it again. I've not had too many issues at it, but really I've not had anything break or anything like that. I have had to do some tweaking and different things like that, but it's cranked right along. So for 2 years now, it's been a great press. Okay, so I'll give you a quick tour of the press here. So you can see in the back, those are some of the powders I use for 44 Magnum. This one specifically is known for being very accurate. I'm going to reload some of those for the long range shooting I'm going to do later, hopefully in the next week or two here. And so you can see there's the primer pan. They feed down into here, and there's a little button that comes up through there and seats those. This is the depriming and resizing station right here, the first one. You can see the pin poking down there that pokes out the primer. And then if we come around the press, of course this is the case feeder. And if we come around the press, right there is where you seat the bullet. So it just goes up in there and gets seated. And that's pretty much it, guys. You just seat your bullet, and once you get it kind of set like you want, you can pretty much just crank them out. So we're out here reloading today. This is the Lee, it's kind of a rainy day today. This is the Lee Pro 1000 progressive press. I like the press. Back here we've got our primers. They feed down, and you got your powder up here. You got your casings feeding in here. So I use a whole variety of bullets. These particular bullets happen to be pen bullets. These are pen bullets in an Oregon Trail box. So I've used Oregon Trail, I've used pen bullets, I've used some other ones too. But anyway, these are pen bullets here, and these are all 240 grain. I mostly reload 240 grain bullets. I've seriously thought about reloading some heavier bullets, but never have done it yet. So anyway, I'm just going to show you what I do. So I've got 3 on the press right now. I'm reloading some 44 Special today. So you can reload 44 Special and 44 Magnum. There's only just a difference in case length, so you can reload those on the same press. So here we go. This thing feeds. It feeds automatically. So basically what I get done is when the bullet falls off, I just kind of check it. When the cartridge falls off, I just check it to make sure that that's crimped really good, that it's got a primer, that the primer isn't bulging. And then I just keep cranking along on the next one. And it does take a little bit of tweaking with this press. With the Lee Pro 1000, you will have to do some tweaking to make sure that everything you have it set up for is working properly, that the powder you want to use is working with it, and it's seating the bullets properly and crimping them about how you want. You can adjust if you're a reloader, or if you're not, you can adjust about anything you want to adjust. So there's about a million different things to adjust. So everything from the powder to the bullet seating depth to the crimp, type of crimp you use, all those kind of things are things you need to adjust when you're reloading. Like right there, like casing just fell, I'll get that later. So then you see right there, I just swiveled this. This just swivels around. You can just swivel that, your next row will fall. So I just kind of check each one just so that I'm not finding them later. Not finding them as having something wrong with them. They're primerless or whatever might be the case. You do kind of have to keep an eye on these primers. You kind of tap them down every once in a while. Other than that, once you get it kind of tweaked up for what you want, it pretty much just cranks right along. And you notice that I'm pushing that primer handle up. And for those of you who don't know, on this is an auto progressive press, so it turns the table for you. And when I'm coming up on the upstroke, besides pulling them out of the dies there, right here, that last step, I'm actually seating the primer on this stage right here. I'm seating the primer on that casing right there. So this one looks good. Okay, so this is what a finished cartridge looks like. So that is 240 grains. You can see that one doesn't have an absolutely perfect crimp. There's a little bit of crookedness there, but it's a Federal casing. These are only going to be fired on the range for my purposes anyway. So if they're not perfect, or I get one that is a squib load and it doesn't go off or something, I'm not overly concerned, because for those of you who don't know, you don't really want to be reloading defensive ammunition anyway. Maybe hunting ammunition, but not, certainly hunting ammunition, but not defensive ammunition, because if you can help it, it's just not a smart move for the court. I would recommend everybody read up on Masad Ayub. He's an expert witness, and he will tell you that reloading your own ammunition for defensive purposes is not the smartest of choices. I can very easily reload about 100 to 150 rounds an hour if I'm really cranking along. So just to give you an idea about how fast it goes, depends on what you're using. I've got some other bullets here, but some jacketed bullets I'll load too. So sometimes when you're switching bullets, you're switching powders, it'll take longer. But if you're just cranking along, like with these 44 specials, I started out today with these tubes. All 4 of these tubes will hold about 50 of them, and I had it full, or 45. I think it's like 45. I counted if you fill up all 4 tubes, and so you can easily refill these tubes 2 or 3 times in an hour if you really get cranking. So I don't remember what they advertised on the website for the Lee Pro 1000, but if you weren't checking every round, you could reload twice as many. So if you're not checking every round and you're like, well, if I just want to, I'll find out on the range if there's something wrong, then you could probably reload 250 or 300 rounds an hour. But I can easily reload doing this and checking every round and make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. I can still easily reload 150 rounds in an hour. I didn't mention I do have a little scale here for checking charge weights of powder and that sort of thing, and that's always a good idea. So always follow the instructions in your reloading manuals. Stay tuned, guys, for the shooting with this here. This is known for being a really accurate powder, this H110. So we are going to do a little bit of long-range shooting with that here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will put any comments or questions you have about this in the comment section below. The hogged an H1110 there in the, or H, and stay tuned for the okay.